Hey, I think we got it. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for bearing with us here. Ian, I think we're good. Awesome. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. It looks like everyone is on mute, so if you guys want to pop in at any time, please utilize the chat. Ian will be monitoring our chat. Ian is our superstar for marketing, joining us in the background today. But thank you for joining. Is your workforce ready for what's next? This is our second webinar in a WorkSpend series that we are doing, highlighting some of the amazing women we have working behind the scenes here at WorkSpend. And it's a Women in Tech series. So we'll learn a little bit about how Anamika is working with clients and helping them think tech forward. Hopefully you caught the one with Christy last month, and next month we have another one of our data folks joining. So really, really great stuff. And thanks again for joining this morning. I am Nancy Miller. I am the VP of Workforce Solutions here at WorkSpend. Been in the industry for many years. So really, again, excited to be able to be hosting another industry veteran, Anamika saying this morning. And Anamika, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you for having me here, Nancy. My name is Anamika. I'm the VP of Global Operations at WorkSpend. I have been with the industry for close to 23 years now. Started as tech consultant and moved into the MSP operations. I manage global enterprise customers, and that's my role at the moment. We can move ahead with the rest of the conversation.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks again for joining us. Super excited to have you. We're going to kick it off with a poll. Fingers crossed that it works for us this time. We had a little snafu with our polls last time, but really want to kind of dig into what we're going to be talking about today and put up the poll for, does your business have a strategic role looking at your workforce? I know we have some supplier partners here as well. So if you want to just sort of think about, clients that you're working with, do they have this type of role? Or if you're coming from the buyer side, does your company have this type of role in the organization? Give it just a minute. Ian, are you able to help us pop that up? We might have lost him. We can always circle back to those as well. But really, I think that, really parlays well into Anamika and the work that you are doing when we think about, who is really looking strategically at the workforce for these enterprise clients. So tell us a little bit, what does a day in the life of Anamika look like?
Well, all of you all know that we're witnessing a rapid digitization, and a lot of requirements are changing around us. So no 2 days are same, but our role is around talent is core to what we do. Workforce strategy is what we consult on our customers, and our role largely requires us to understand what our customers' organizations' goals are like, what kind of workforce strategy would help them. So I get into all those strategic meetings with customers and the talent acquisition leaders and the businesses, understand what their requirement is like, and then we work on a solution for them to have the right talent at the right time. A part of it is understanding their requirement. The second part really is about understanding the tech stack today. I have worked for many organizations in my 23 years, and everybody has good technology, but at no one customer I have witnessed all the tech stack working together and integrated well. So yes, so that becomes a challenge that we often need to solve for. So we work through the workforce strategy. We build in an execution plan by understanding the requirements of the customers. And my day-to-day is largely around ensuring that they get what they're looking for on time in terms of talent. So we work through the tech, we get the requirements out to our partners, we ensure that we are getting the customers what they're looking for through our different supply network. And I connect with our regional and global teams to ensure that we're meeting customers' expectations and just have the regular check-in with all the executive team of the customers to ensure that they're happy with what they're getting. If there is any change in their strategy that needs to be brought in, consulting goes a long way. We are seeing a lot of changes that is happening here. So we kind of work through all of those changes and bring insights to our customers. What should be their, the latest example could be the AI, which could be a
Mm-hmm.
tailwind for all the softwares that they are currently using. And how can they leverage this current trend by understanding what would be beneficial for them? Just an example, and
Mm-hmm.
not get into this whole uh, gamut of you should go for all AI or you should get lost with that entire conversation. So helping them with whatever works with their job transformation, how should they go about just the skills hiring and stuff like that. So it's largely around all those conversations with customers and ensuring that our team understands that and just support them with whatever's required.
So that's it. Just really, just a list of just a couple things. So I heard you
Yeah.
say, tech stack, right? And obviously, tech is forefront, what everyone is doing and thinking about. So tell us a little bit about your journey, kind of what your background is, and then how you kind of use that knowledge and that experience to help your clients today.
Yeah, well, I started as a tech consultant in banking domain, and I used to support the technical platforms implementation for large international banks, a pretty global role. And then I was responsible for bringing a product into the market on time. And at one point in time, I realized we didn't have enough in-house skills to build that product and meet the go-to-market strategy for that. So I landed up connecting with external partner who had ready skills, and that was my first exposure to connecting with third-party resources and building the entire product and get it out on time to the market. A lot of things were questioned back then, and I'm talking about 2007, 8. The IP
Yeah.
that was, that we were all worried about, the kind
Yeah.
of contracts that needed to be put in place, what kind of accesses to be given to the external consultants. It was basic back then, but I realized or I saw the potential of leveraging the entire network that you can build in to support yourself and then be ahead in the market and stay in the competition or stay ahead of the competition. So yeah, the
Mhm.
technology background back then helped. And then I landed
Definitely.
up supporting the MSP services
Yeah.
for many customers. So I landed up setting a lot of MSP programs for organizations like NetApp, LinkedIn, Yahoo, Expedia. Uh, I've forgotten the number of them now because it has been I'm growing
Yeah.
old in this industry. But
Yeah.
yeah, we've that continues. It's just that the way we dealt with MSP services back then versus today has changed. And also the innovation in terms of technology has really taken the forefront. So what we focus, especially from the MSP services standpoint and Workspan, is focus heavily on tech and ensure that the customers are getting what they are looking for. We have, we work through customers' tech stack, their HR systems, how are they interconnected, how are we managing their skills, mapping, for identifying the gaps, and then building the required talent pool for the gaps, and just ensuring that the customers understand that there is a need for the job transformation to happen.
Hmm.
If you have the skill today, because of the way the AI is changing things, you'll need to train some of your workforce to be skilled for the upcoming requirements. So we support all that through our technology and connecting or utilizing customers' existing technology, and by just ensuring that we do integration of all our platforms together to get one single source of truth for them to make the right decisions.
Yeah.
So that's my journey, and I continue to evolve in this
Yeah.
journey. Yeah.
That's so great. So you started as a really in the tech space and then have been able to bring that tech background with you throughout your MSP side. So that's awesome. So from a perspective of being a woman, what do you think are some of the barriers that maybe you faced or you've seen other women face, kind of coming up through that tech background and then, moving into a strategic role with senior leadership?
Sure. It's surprising. I was the only tech consultant or female tech consultant in my entire group, and um, as much as we think there was a gender bias in there, it actually sometimes worked for me better because I got to go to better places. So that was the good part of it. What was challenging as a woman in the role was my role has always been global. That means that you would have to work your schedule based on your customers' availability or your team's
Hmm.
availability. So there is no defined hour of work, and
Yeah,
that has an impact on your personal life.
for
And it
sure.
works well, but when you become a mother,
Hmm.
you start to question yourself and the priorities that you have to bring in, and you have to at one point in time understand that you cannot have it all. So you
Hmm.
will have to understand what's your priority. If your current role is something that you enjoy doing, only then you would be able to prioritize. And then so what I did was, my global role was demanding. I had a small child, and I started to get into a lot of international implementations. I was vocal about some of the challenges, and I realized when you
Yeah.
speak up and
Hmm.
let people know, they accommodate because everybody wants to get the work done. So
Yeah.
I think that helped, and also the fact that I changed from tech to something that I liked more, it gave me more patience to deal with the challenges that were coming. So I often, whenever I'm talking to my team or anybody who's looking out for guidance, it's okay to make that change if you think you like to do something better. Even if you're doing well in your current role, you want to try something different, just go ahead and do that. And as a
Hmm.
woman, there will be a lot of expectations from you to run the house, to manage your child, to do your job well, and all of that. Just ensure that you seek help, do prioritize whatever is your priority, and work through that. It works out eventually.
Sometimes we have struggles asking for help. I can definitely relate to
Yeah.
that. But what I'm hearing you say is be vocal and speak up, right? Whether it's, the needs to the organization or, at home where you need to raise your hand and say, I'm gonna need some help with this. So good for you. Good for you. So yeah, I'm gonna go to the second poll here. I think we might have lost Ian. Which is okay. We could still continue, but obviously as Anamika is having these conversations with our clients. Oh, hey, here we go. Thank you, Ian.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Um,
We have the polls up again. Thanks for that, Mandy.
hooray! Thank you for working so diligently on that. So for the audience, what do you see as your next step in the workforce, sort of resetting the balance of, as Anamika mentioned, just so many changes, things coming and going. We did set this poll so that you could select multiple things. It's really not just one, and we know that. So feel free to select multiple if these are the things that you are seeing, again, either in your organization or with the clients that you work with. I'll give it just a minute. Hopefully everybody can see. Looks like we have a couple responses. AI and humans, yep, for sure. Project-based work and defined roles, definitely. Absolutely. Absolutely. In here. Yeah, looks like project-based work and defined roles, resetting the balance of that. And I'm sure, Anamika, that is something that you are running into every day in the conversations that you're having. So tell us, who are these folks that you're having these conversations with? What are they interested in from a workforce perspective? Are you seeing those sort of project-based design roles, or excuse me, redefined roles coming up in conversation? Yeah, so tell us a little bit about those conversations you're having with who and what are you chatting about?
Right. So a lot of that customers that I'm currently dealing with are banks and defense organizations. And after COVID, they saw a major shift in the way the consumers would use their services. And that meant that they were looking out for new technologies and they needed to ensure that people had access to their services and they had to really up their game and get into the market fast to ensure that their organization continued to operate and the profitability remained. What really happened during that time, it was limited talent, but everybody was looking for it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I saw people, A, because of COVID, and B, because of the rapid digitization, I saw organizations become flexible. And they
Okay.
started to pick up just the talent from wherever they were able to, get it. With that, the challenge that came in was if you went into a digital mode, there were new challenges. The cybersecurity became the talk of
Mm,
the town.
yes.
You had to have all the infrastructure managed in a way where you protected your IP. The local regulatory requirements had to be met. For example, if you're in Middle East, then you had to have your servers hosted from that region versus others. So every region had different requirement, and organizations needed to understand their local legislations and compliance requirements to be able to operate it the right way. So the kind of conversations that, and COVID came and went, and then AI started to really play in and started to, everybody started to look out for AI-driven efficiencies. So some of these repetitive tasks, they were getting automated through AI. And a lot of these platforms that are my customers, brand customers, they're using, they are leveraging AI for efficiencies. It's
Mm-hmm.
just one of those new thing that needed to be put in place because if one customer did that or if one bank was headed in that direction, rest of them needed to have the services either at par
Mm-hmm.
or better to be
Yep.
to be
Very
able to
competitive.
survive in that market space. So the kind of conversation that I have today, a lot of these organizations are looking at efficiencies from the global market space. They do not have all the available talent in their region, so they are looking out for different capability centers who can support them regionally. They pick up these platforms like TopTal or any of those gig platforms, which can bring them some of those quickly available talent for them to work on, and they're open to have the larger some of the work given to them.
Mm-hmm.
But the larger piece of work which needs to stay confidential, they want to drive from their organization and from their internal talent pool. So they want them to be available. I think of late the trend really is to call them back to work in their offices to ensure that there is
Mm,
better collaboration. I
mm-hmm.
hear people talk about efficiencies. I think a lot of remote work is running because it saves a lot of cost. It's convenient, you can get talent. But then I have often heard the HR community talk about the missing connects between the team. So a
Mm-hmm.
hybrid kind of option brings them better talent and they're able to retain that. So hybrid is what is the preferred option based on my current observation with all the customers and their workforce that I get to manage today.
Gotcha. Yeah, lots of decisions to be made. And yeah, COVID hit, then AI, and there's never a dull moment in the world and in our space, really. So lots to keep up with. And, it's great that you're able to sort of see that from a global perspective as well. And thank you for bringing that information to us. So opportunities, we definitely want to talk about that from a strategic landscape perspective. So you've worked with first generation MSP programs, second generation, and also emerging markets, which is super interesting. Might not be something that if there's a US based audience, so enlighten us a little bit, first and second gen, but then also what are you seeing in the emerging markets? And what is emerging markets? What does that mean?
Right. So emerging markets are the markets who have a lot of talent requirement, and they've never engaged with MSP services to bring in their talent. So it's a new concept for them altogether. For example, Middle East, they have all these large banks and large enterprises. They have really huge digitization that's happening in all the segments that they are operating in, and they have never had a organized contingent workforce program, but now they're exploring. They see that the world is headed towards that, and they're able to get talent on time. They are able to meet up with compliances across different regions, and there is a better way of seeking support if they go with somebody who understand who would be these suppliers who can bring them the talent on right time, who would be their consultant to manage that one point of contact who can manage the compliances across the globe for them, and who would be that one partner who would advise them or guide them on the technology that they should be engaging with, and all this is new for them. So I think there are very, very few MSPs operating from UAE region at this point in time. And I think we were among the first ones to get there and implement our program. And it's been interesting because it starts from explaining them from the basic that this is the technology you can use. This is how you can, optimize your talent availability. This is how you can engage with suppliers. You can have one process and you can be fair. And just explaining it to partners that you were just engaging with hiring managers all this while, but now you have a set platform, better visibility of all the roles across the organization, and a fair platform to be able to support the customers. And just with that one step, if you support well, then you also open up the market, global market for yourself, because if the MSP is operating and supporting, and if they say there's a good partner, it's for MSP's business that they would take the good partners with them across for other customers as well. So they save a lot of cost on their sales opportunity, but this is understood in North America quite well. I think Asia Pacific is understanding this slowly and steadily. The programs have been there in play for quite some time now here, but in Middle East and some part of European region, it's still being explored just for the benefits. So that's the emerging market where we're trying to kind of break in and trying to build value for them. It needs a lot of education and training and effort and patience, but I think it's bringing value that that benefits everybody, all the parties involved.
So it's instead of like a Gen 1, it's almost like a Gen 0, really, because you're starting from even just educating what that workforce model might look like. So for the sake of time, I think we could talk about Gen 1 and Gen 2 all day as well from a strategic landscape perspective. So Ian, we're going to try one more poll. Fingers crossed. We went up and running. This one, yay. Oh, all right, here we go. So this is not a trick question, you guys. This is not the same one that we asked last time. This is so thinking about those those things and sort of what needs to be rebalanced potentially. If you don't do those rebalances, what do you think is actually likely to cause the most damage to your business if you get it wrong? Or again, on the supplier side, what are you seeing from your client's perspective? What are things that they're struggling? What do you think is really going to have the biggest impact if there isn't any focus on that particular piece? So far, we've got AI and humans. I think that definitely makes sense. Or for AI and human. Yeah, absolutely. AI definitely the super hot topic. So to wrap up, again, probably AI would be the forefront of of this if everyone had to guess as far as future of work. But how do you see that? And really, when you think about it, just we have a 2 minutes, so quickly, like 2 minute spiel. What do you see, and how can organizations prepare?
The organizations need to know what they're looking for from their product and services standpoint. And then they need to assess what is the available talent within their organization, understand where are the gaps and where are they headed, and then be ready with a plan to meet up the gaps, and also be ready with the training plans for the job transformation that would be coming or that's coming already very, very soon. We definitely see a shortage of talent, and then there is a if there is if they have a good plan to get to the market on time, then they need to have an agile methodology put in place to have the right talent put in the right place. They definitely should start looking at the plan and ensuring that they are getting ready for whatever is next in their requirements. So that's my 2
Absolutely.
minutes wrap up.
That was great. That was great. Thanks for bringing that summary. Okay, so if you have questions, I think we are out of time for all intents and purposes. But please connect with Anamika and I via LinkedIn. Check out our WorkSpend website as well for other things. WorkSpend. Again, we'll have another webinar in November featuring Didi Villarreal, who is amazing when it comes to data. So hope everybody will join for that. Otherwise, thanks again for bearing with us this morning as we got started, and our webinar needed a little coffee to get off the ground, but really appreciate everybody and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.